happy almost New Year. It is the 30th. It's the day before New Year's Eve, and it's that time of year when we start thinking about making resolutions and plans, and I actually love that process, and I do it all year long. And I also do another thing all year long. By the way, just so that I'm about to talk about a whole bunch of stuff that I care about and don't care about. I want you to get like a sense of my life right now. See, here's the wrapping paper still from Christmas. I have to drop that off at my mom's. There's whatever's going on over here. So it's kind of funny, like YouTubers kind of like sometimes film in a way that, and I always like, I've got like, you know, heaven lights behind me because I don't position the camera properly. You know, it looks all good like from up here, but like behind us, it's a hot mess. And it's funny because when we started the Mommy Gracie Show, we used to film in my bedroom a lot because there was stuff all over the kitchen table, you know, because nobody eats at that. And I used to have my bed unmade and like laundry like piled up behind us on the bed and like never think to move it. But anyway, so it's that time of year. It's that time of year to plan. And one of the things that I love to do all year long is read. And I read a lot of books that are inspirational, like self-help books, self-improvement books. I don't know. I don't kind of like those terms. That's where they are in the bookstore. They're under self-improvement and self-help. To me, they're just books that'll change your life. And books can do that, believe it or not. And it doesn't have to be nonfiction books that change your life. When I was younger, when I was in high school, there was a book called The Mists of Avalon, which is my favorite book of all time, and it's fiction. And it's about the women during the days of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. And that actually changed my life in a lot of ways, and it was fiction. But anyway, so I wanted to give you a list of the books that changed my life in 2017, and I think that will continue to move my life in 2018, and that led to me starting, oh, that's a good one. Oh, I like that one. Thank you, Kira to the Dreamer. It's nice to see you. Yeah, and please, in the comments, share any books that have changed your life for you in any way. So I'm going to share some books that changed my life this year, and I'll briefly explain why they changed my life. And then later on, because you can't do this when you live stream from your phone, you can't like do all kinds of stuff in the description. So I'll just stick it in later. I'll stick links to the books. But in 2016, I was finishing up my chemotherapy treatment for MS, and I was reading, I really wanted like to get the best out of this. So I was reading this book called The Walls Protocol. It was written by a doctor who has MS and who supposedly like reversed her MS and got out of her wheelchair by eating a certain way. In the process of trying her diet, I gained a lot of weight, didn't feel better, but one of the components of her plan was intermittent fasting. And she explained, there were like a lot of chapters about why that was like good for you. And so that part of the plan I actually kind of liked. And then I found this book, and it's called The Complete Guide to Fasting. And I've read a bunch of other books on fasting, but this one covered the science really, really well. So it's written in conjunction with a doctor, and then this guy Jimmy. This guy Jimmy, you know, always take advice from a guy named Jimmy about health matters. So it's a really, really great explanation medically and scientifically about why fasting might be a good thing for your health. And for my health, this has been life-changing for me in a whole bunch of ways. So basically, there's a whole bunch of different ways to fast. About 5 days a week, I only eat once a day. I eat between 6 and 10 p.m. I'll have dinner. Of course, the phone's going to die. I'll have dinner. And now my husband's singing in the background. Wait, the phone's literally going to die. And because I didn't think this through. Wait, hashtag so profesh. I didn't think this through. I need the charger. So, hi, I'm back. So I I eat between, and there's my big fat hand. I eat between 6 and 10 p.m. I'll have like a, you know, a dinner like type thing and like some snacks or whatever. And I eat relatively healthy and relatively clean. And then a couple of other days a week I'll eat, I pretty much never eat breakfast anymore because I learned through the process of doing this that, and I always thought breakfast was the most important meal of the day. I learned that breakfast makes me very sluggish. Now, my biggest problem with multiple sclerosis, the biggest frustration for me, I mean, there's things that I don't know that this could ever fix, but the thing that has been the hardest for me was energy levels and fatigue. And I will honestly say that how do I deal with hunger if I only eat once a day? I don't get hungry anymore. And it's really interesting. In the beginning, you have to sort of retrain your body. And then, but then I don't get hungry. Now, if I do have a day where I get hungry, then I'm like, okay, well, obviously my body's telling me that I need some fuel. Don't I get in a bad mood? Okay, so the book explains why, because I used to be the kind of person that always traveled with like some sort of like a protein bar, granola bar in my purse, because if I got hungry, I would get a headache, I would get shaky, I would get really nasty. I could not have food with me. I mean, my poor husband has lived through me not having like a granola bar or something in my purse. It was ugly. So, yeah, the idea of fasting terrified me at first. And in the beginning, like the first couple of weeks, it was not so fun. I've never done the like, there's like guides to like not eating for 3 days. I've never done an extended fast. It's not anything I'm interested in, really. And eating the way I'm eating now, I feel really good. I did not do it to lose weight. I want to be clear about that. And if you have any problems, if you have any eating disorders, I would not recommend fasting because it might trigger you, you know, if you have anorexia or any eating disorders. I've never had an eating disorder other than I like food a lot, which is kind of funny because I just said I like food a lot. But the other thing that the reason this is life-changing for me is not only do I feel much better physically, I mean, I started doing yoga and my energy level is definitely improved. It's never going to be, oh, no, I shouldn't say that. Maybe someday it will be what it was before MS, but it's definitely better. Also, my relationship towards food is better. I was an emotional eater, and I've just gone through some, you know, the past few months have been just crazy. And I haven't gone to food for comfort. And a couple of times when I've done that, it hasn't been as comforting as it used to be. So I've really, and then the quality of food, like if I start eating something and I don't like it, I'm like, well, I'm not gonna eat that. You know, unless I'm at somebody's house, I mean, I'm not gonna be rude. And, you know, if it tastes artificial or it tastes like, just because I don't eat all the time, like I eat more mindfully. And so food has to be really, really good because I'm only gonna eat it like once a day. It better be really, really good. So that's that. Curious the Dreamer, how can you read more often? One thing I suggest is just setting your alarm to get up like 15 minutes earlier in the morning. Anything that you're like, how can I fit this into my schedule? I just make yourself get up earlier. I know that's annoying, but that works for me because it's the only way I'm gonna do it, because otherwise life gets really, 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 really busy. And like I read the Bible in a year by getting up like 15 minutes earlier every morning. It was like a program that I did. So that worked really well. It's not sarcastic that you're eating right now. It's really cool because this isn't just about eating. So the other book that changed my life this year, and it's kind of funny because, you know, I'm talking about reading the Bible in the year, and I know a lot of people that watch are Christian, and I'm Christian in that I believe in Jesus, and I'm Catholic, and I believe in the Virgin Mary, but I also believe a lot of other stuff. So like just whoo. Anyway, so Wheels of Life, I've read over the past 25 years, 30 years probably. I mean, I'm 50 now. 30 years. Oh my God, yeah, more than 30 years. Okay. I've been interested in Eastern religions, and I've read a lot of stuff about chakras over the year, and I was like, you know, like really like, chakra. But for some reason, this book was like more technical. It's called The Classic Guide to the Chakra System. And it just talked about the different energy centers in your body. And it was one of those books that sometimes I think if you can get scientific with me on spiritual things, somehow it clicks. So that one really clicked on me just to understand and also visualize the flow of energy in my body and to find the places in my body where the energy wasn't really flowing or where it felt like things were getting stopped up. And I really will say that, you know, yoga helped me to get energy flowing. And again, for me, energy is really important, getting that energy to move. This book, oh, I forgot the other one. So this book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Bleep, we're going to use the word fig for purposes of our discussion. And there's another book called that I left over there called The Life-Changing Art of Not Giving a Fig. And I think that what made these books, and it's called A Counterintuitive Approach to Living a Good Life. I think that the shocking nature of using the word fig, which they are not using the word fig, in these two books, is what kind of snapped my attention to get me to understand. I tend to, I like to help people, and I'm not saying that like in an altruistic way, like, I like to help people, I'm such a good person. I saw a TED Talk, and the TED Talk was about that the dark side of helping is control. I like to help people because I like to control everything. And it doesn't make me a bad person. I had to get through that. Then I was like, oh, so me wanting to help all the time means I'm bad. Me helping people is narcissistic. No, but it is. It's about controlling things. And so I want to help. And, but because I want to help everybody and I want to control everything and I want to fix everything and all of that, I tend to just give my figs, I give a fig about too many things. And I don't, and then I run out of figs to give for the things that really matter. So it's really about prioritizing your life. But like I said, I think it's the shocking nature of the word. It's not hugs. I think the shocking nature of the word that starts with F is what kind of made this click for me. And really has led me over the past few months to really contemplate where I am putting my energy and what I care about. And also looking at where like, do people give a fig about me? Or are people giving me their figs? It's so silly. But, and I realized that I was giving figs to people who don't really give a fig about me. And I'm not saying that you should only care about people that care about you, but there's you do have a finite amount of time and energy. And for me, I have a slightly more finite amount of energy. And so I need to be a little more in tune with what I'm doing with my energy and my efforts and making sure that I'm putting that in the right place. And so these two books, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Bleep and The Life-Changing Art of Not Giving a Bleep, really kind of help you take inventory of what you do with your time and your care and your thoughts and your efforts, and really kind of inventory that and figure out what you could change that would make you happier, and also sort of teach you how to not feel guilty, because that's the thing. It's very easy to say, well, I'm just not going to care about that. That doesn't really work for me, at least, because I have guilt. I went to Catholic school for 12 years. My middle name is Guilt. It was like my confirmation name. So it's hard to say, well, I can't care about that. Like, I can't, you know what, that's their problem and I can't care about that. That's really hard, but I'm learning how to kind of not have guilt and how to understand that not everything in everybody's life is my fault or my problem, and that I don't have to fix everything. It's shocking. I just spent 2 months trying to fix kids and family YouTube until it occurred to me that I cannot fix it, and that no one gave a fig that I was trying to fix it anyway. And I just spent all this time and made myself sick, and sometimes. Anyway, so The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fig. I will put links down below after this video, and the Life-Changing Art of Not Giving a Fig. The Life-Changing Art of Not Giving a Fig, which is over there, and again, it's not fig, it's a bad word that then YouTube would kick me off for using. That one has an inventory for each, so she breaks it down into area like physical things in your life, acquaintances and friends, work, and then family. And I haven't gotten to the family part yet because I'm afraid. Okay, now I'm ending with, okay, I found this amazing woman, Danielle Laporte. I've done other videos on her, her books, but the first one I read was the Desire Map, and it comes with, well, it doesn't come with, but then you can get the Desire Map planner. So this was my 2017 planner. This is the book. The first half of the book is her explanation of, instead of setting goals, or making resolutions for 2018, instead start with thinking about really contemplating, how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel? What do you want to feel? And you start there and then work your way back from that to, well, what can you do in your life, or what can you change in your life? And then with the planner, every day kind of, oops, sorry, I hit the camera, hashtag so professional. Every day sort of asks you, is this getting you there? Is this moving you towards that? You know, like, you know, 3 things every day. It's like 3 things that are moving your life forward. On the to-do section, it says prioritize pleasure. What stop doing? Every day it asks you, what should you stop doing? There's a gratitude section. So every morning it's kind of like, what are you grateful for? And not just what are you grateful for, why are you grateful for it? And what do you want to change? And on the what do you want to change, it has different, it'll say the solution will come, claim it and tame it, because naming it is liberating. So it has a little bit different stuff every day. On your schedule, sometimes it says respect yourself. Sometimes, like this one says reframe obligations into choices. It's really, 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 really good. You know, on one day here, stop doing, and one of the things that was stop doing was resentment. I realized, I'm like, oh, I have a lot of resentment. I need to stop doing that. Another day, stop doing was hyper scheduling, because I kind of like, I overschedule my day. And stop doing beating myself up, things I want to change, feeling like I have to do everything, holding on to things I should let go of. So I mean, like, it actually, this is like every day I do this. I do yoga, and then I sit down and I do my desire mapping. And so this book is amazing. So the first part of the book talks about like the why and kind of her theory behind it. And the second part of the book is the workbook. And I'm actually going back through the workbook part, so I can prepare myself for 2018. Her 2 other books that I absolutely love, because after I got that one I had to get these, was The White Hot Truth and The Firestarter Sessions. These both come before the Desire Map. A lot of what she talks about in here is also in the Desire Map. So if you can only get one, get the Desire Map. You don't need the planner. She's got printables. You can print out the planner. Or just, you know, sort of do it in your own planner. So those are the books that changed my life in 2018. I'd love to hear about the books that changed your life. Or 2018, 2017. Look at that, I'm already ahead. I'm already gonna not write 2017 for a month on everything. No, I'm still gonna do that. And so I encourage you to read. I'll put links down below to these books. They're really, really, these were the ones that, you know, I read a lot. I read a lot of stuff this year. These are the ones that really made a difference for me, and I wanted to share them with you. If you're looking for ways to read, get up 15 minutes earlier. Staying up 15 minutes later is hard, because then a lot of times you fall asleep when you read. Like, I read before I go to bed because it makes me sleepy, so I wouldn't recommend that necessarily. If you get a lunch break at work, I used to read on my lunch break. It's hard. It's hard to fit it in there. Audiobooks are great. You know, Audible, I think I'm like the only YouTuber in the world that doesn't promote Audible, but Audible is really, really great. If you have Amazon Prime, Audible's really cheap. So you can do audiobooks. You know, there's lots of different ways to get it in there, but I highly recommend it. And I thank you, you guys that joined me here live today. I find that doing these things live means that I actually do them. and then I don't have to edit them, so they actually get posted. So I am being slightly lazy by doing this live, but the most important thing to me is to get it out there and to try and help a couple of people with what I've learned. And so if this is how I have to do that, then that's how I have to do that, right? See? I'm learning. Anyway, I hope you guys have a very happy new year, and I will catch you on the other side in 2018. Love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye.